Welcome back to my 100% playthrough, everyone. I am 100%ing Breath of the Wild day by day, little piece by piece, until Tears of the Kingdom comes out in 177 days. And usually, and I say usually specifically here, I talk about topics that are on my mind, usually video game topics or internet culture topics, but today there is not much on my mind. I just finished watching a playthrough of the new God of War game, and it definitely made me pretty emotional, I will admit. But obviously no spoilers for that game here on this channel randomly, so instead what I thought today I'm gonna do is a literal Breath of the Wild Let's Play. So I'm just gonna be commentating the gameplay that I'm doing. My goal is to reach Zora's domain, maybe get some shrines along the way. So if you want, you can put this on in the background and join me for the ride. Right now, I'm actually doing an interesting wind bump here. It's not a wind bump, it's actually just a bump boost. So you jump, blow up a bump, and it gives Link just enough momentum to go this is literally underwater Breath of the Wild gameplay that you saw right there. You actually traverse under the water. So while this is going to be a basically a casual playthrough, I will still be using speedrun threads just to make progress quicker. We have a goal to get here. That goal being 100%ing the game in 177 days. We should be on good pace to do so. In case if this is your first time watching, randomly stumbling upon this Breath of the Wild Let's Play today. The progress so far is that I've beaten 2 divine beasts. I have obtained the camera and started. Basically, I'm going to collect all of the divine beasts first, and then I will start to complete all of the big goals, like all shrines, and even all Koroks, but let's try to hit a good old BTB. I haven't done one of those in a long time. They are quite annoying, but they could help me going to Zora's domain a little bit faster. Let's see what we can do. That actually looks pretty nice. This is actually technically perfect because I wanted to pick up this shrine here, So Kofi. It's a test of strength shrine, and we are perfectly set up to reach it, so that's great. If you've never seen a BTB, it's an old school speedrunning strat that looks extremely cool. Unfortunately, it's very unreliable, and I'm glad that it's not really used in speedruns much. What we also get here is an unloaded shrine, where we travel to the shrine so quickly that the door to the shrine couldn't load in time. Now, one thing to consider, if you ever get an unloaded shrine, if you ever do some for fun wind bombs, if you go into the shrine like I just did, you won't be able to teleport back to it. Because I never actually, I never pressed the switch at the door, which means that I never activated the option to teleport to the shrine. Always interesting to remember. I have definitely lost speedruns because of this before, pretty annoying. We got the little pre-fire strat here. Also, I picked up the Champion's Tunic, which means that I now have basically a health bar, a visible health bar for these Guardians. We're making good progress with shrines. I kind of lost overview of how many shrines I've completed in this playthrough, but I'm pretty sure we're getting close to 16. There's a Knight's Bow in this, which is kind of useless. At one point, I do need to return to Rito Village. I might actually do this soon. After going to Zora's domain, getting the warp, I might return to Rito Village real quick. Because I completely forgot to pick up its Divine Beast's great reward, being the Great Eagle Bow, which is an extremely powerful bow. Especially when it comes to fighting boss enemies. So we are at 12 shrines. Okay, a little bit less than I thought. 12 shrines, 3 Koroks, that number is still pretty low, but we still have 177 days. I'm hoping that in the next like 7 days, I'll be able to at least beat all of the divine beasts. That would be a good start. Now Sidon is over there. I kind of want to avoid him because it's just an unnecessary cutscene. I'm just gonna make my way to Zora's domain immediately, basically. Also, let me know if I should do the DLC in this playthrough. Again, the way I'm defining 100% is... Oh, actually, I'm not sure. I might have to do the DLC. I don't know how the percentage exactly works. But I'm pretty sure to actually reach 100% on the map with the DLC installed. I might be wrong. I need to actually ask on like the Discord server. But I might need to get the DLC shrine locations in order to even reach 100% completion. Because the way I'm defining 100% in my playthrough here is simply, also these wind bombs are very sketchy without minimap, but I figured it out, is simply to get 100% map completion. My issue with 100% speedruns on speedrun.com is that you have to get a lot in my opinion, arbitrary goals. Arbitrary goals are, for example, in my opinion, again, this is all based on my opinion, to upgrade all armor pieces that you cannot sell. I always talk about how, for me, it would make sense to either having to upgrade every armor piece or none of them. Just don't count that towards completion. I think just getting 100% completion on the map, which you can only see once you've beaten Ganon, which is what I'm going to do after the Divine Beasts, so we can actually track our progress, is the most reasonable way to do it. Because everything else is kind of arbitrary, right? But then again, the reason why we don't use the 100% meter on the map is because there's a lot of goals in the game. Also, I keep messing up wind bombs because I don't have access of my map right now when I'm playing in this pro mode to make the game look a little bit prettier. Kind of something I'm sacrificing, but I think it's worth it. I really like the clean look of the game with these letter boxes and not a lot of HUD. I think it's just cozy. But what isn't cozy is the shrine thing sensor, the shrine sensor. I want to turn that off. But yeah, the problem with the 100% map completion, so when you open the map and it says 100%, again, I can't see it yet because I haven't beaten Calamity Ganon. But once I have, we can see it. The problem is, you can reach 100% there without doing a lot of the major goals. For example, you don't have to do all of the quests. Quests don't progress the completion at all. The only thing that makes the map percentage go up is finding shrines, and especially just discovering them. You don't even technically have to do the shrine. Just discovering the shrine is enough for the map percentage to go up. Discovering locations, such as basically the ones that you see. Some locations here are discoverable. You have to actually go there to discover them. So if you don't discover them, then the map completion won't go up. And last but not least, Korok seeds. So right now, I haven't discovered the shrine up ahead yet, right? But when you see this come up, this text, this is an official discovery of the shrine, so my map percentage would have went up now. But it doesn't go up from completing quests. And again, the 100% speedrun right now does other things. It upgrades the unsellable armor, which is the Champion's Tunic, the Set of the Wild, which you get from completing all of the shrines, and then last but not least, the Zora armor. So you need a bunch of items for that, and it also gets all of the key items. These are all of these items. That includes the Kilton medals. The Kilton medals are medals that you get for beating mini-bosses around the world, which means in 100% you also have to kill 40 Hinoxes, 40 Taluses, and 4 Moldugas. Which are all goals that I somewhat get, especially for those, because the game actually tracks of which mini-bosses you've defeated. Once you've defeated, the game changes. It makes sense, but I think some things are just very arbitrary. I will probably learn the official 100% speedrun again when we get closer to Tears of the Kingdom. Just because I think it's a pretty cozy run to do. It's still changing like so much, because basically every glitch we ever find is very useful to the 100% category. Even weapon modifier corruption, which is a glitch that basically allows us to create our own weapons, is now usable in 100%, which allows you to essentially one-shot a lot of the bosses. And that's quite fun. The run is going to be mostly about moving around, exploring, getting Koroks and stuff. So I do enjoy that. I'm probably going to look into it as we get closer to Tears of the Kingdom for my Twitch stream. But for now, I'm going to wait until the route is a little bit more set in stone. That being said, I will make my way to Rito Village real quick, because I have not yet... Oh, for example, another thing that's kind of arbitrary. You know how when you get all of the chests in a shrine, there's a little chest icon that appears next to those? That, in particular, is not needed for 100%, which I kind of don't understand. Like, that seems like a really random decision. That's something that you can clearly complete in the game, yet for some reason somebody said no, that's not needed, right? So you see here Aqua Quote Shrine, there's a little chest icon next to it, And here in the Shavabo Shrine, there isn't. In Aqua Quote Shrine, there's a chest icon because I got all of the chests from the shrine. And you don't have to do that for a 100% speedrun. Kind of weird. Don't really get it. Anyway, I'm gonna pick up my bow before I approach the Vine Beast Varuta. Okay, I really don't need to use Rivali Scale here. I'm just gonna climb on over. I guess I never went back here to talk to Kaneli. Also, I'm pretty sure my bow inventory is full. What do we get rid of here? I do like the Swallow Bow because it allows you to freeze enemies without damaging them too much, but it's probably the worst of the bunch. While this is probably the best bow in the game. Especially when it comes to fighting bosses. Okay, and I go back to Zora's Domain, where we have to talk to the king and Sidon for quite a bit to be able to actually approach the beast. But yeah, I guess while I'm doing this little commentary session, I just had the idea to also talk about the 100% speedrun a little bit more. It's definitely something that I like the idea of. Maybe I'm just bitching, I will say, because I think a lot of the times people don't seem to bother as much as I do when it comes to rules of a speedrun. I usually care a lot about the facts. Like when I want to do a speedrun, I kind of like when the goal is not very arbitrary. It's just a goal that's like that makes a lot of sense, right? Kind of hard to explain, but I mean is I like any percent in most speedruns because it has a very clear set in stone goal that everyone can follow, which is you want to beat the game. That's your only goal. Get to the credits, beat the game, and that's what you want to do. And then in a lot of games, the 100% speedrun has you reach 100% completion. Now the problem is that Breath of the Wild doesn't do a great job at tracking what 100% completion is, forcing the community to kind of make up their own rule set. That it's obvious that not everyone is going to agree with everything. That being said, though, a little rant out of the way, which is all I'd ever do on this channel, I will look back into it probably around February, March or something. And try and do some runs, because I do think that they're cozy and I do think that they're fun. The thing is, now upgrading armor is also relatively easy to do. All you do when it comes to upgrading armor is a lot of IST, inventory slot transfer, where you duplicate a lot of items. So while that might be a little bit of a nuisance, it doesn't take a lot of work. You just sit down, do the duplication, and then mainly worry about collecting Korok seeds, shrines, and mini bosses, and that's the fun part. So I think it's wrapping up to be a pretty cool speed run. Oh, I also just downloaded Pokemon Violet. Nice. Game is coming out in 1 to 3 days. Now, one thing that I always wondered, back to the Let's Play, about the king of Zora's Domain, King Dorephan, is he supposed to be just a random guy that happens to be king of this place, or is he supposed to be everyone else's ancestor? Because most people in Zora's Domain either look like Sidon or like Muso. They're like basically around that size, and they're usually like a shark. But King Dorephan is just randomly this huge whale. No one else looks like him. So I don't really know how that works. I don't know if I want to know specifically everything about the Zora, but that was something that always made me kind of question what's going on there. Also, I do wonder every time I go through these cutscenes if we will see the descendants of the champions again. Also, I kind of like this outfit combination, actually. If we're gonna see the descendants of the champions again in Tears of the Kingdom, or not. If they're just gonna be... if they're just gonna disappear because of some lore reason. I feel like they won't disappear. I know there's been this debunked fake announcement from the Daruk voice actor. The Italian Daruk voice actor or something, that apparently he did something for Breath of the Wild 2. I think that was like debunked and said to not be true, but maybe it was true and they just tried to like make sure that they don't unintentionally leak anything. The voice actors. And we do still have more story about the champions and the descendants. Even though I will be honest, I like the champions and the descendants. I like them a lot in this game. But I feel like we kind of have to move on as well. Because they already played a major role in this game. And then Age of Calamity was kind of all about them. Introducing this alternate reality where they like all come back or something. So, I think we can move on and talk about some other lore topics. Now, when Cylon and Muzo are finally done talking, this cutscene literally takes like 5 minutes from beginning to end. We can make our way to the Divine Beast. Actually, we might not be able to. I don't know how many shock arrows I have right now. I think did I buy them? I did all dungeons speedrunning practice yesterday with Simply, a Mario 64 speedrunner. And we definitely bought shock arrows for this dungeon in that playthrough. Obviously, in the casual playthrough, these guys send you up to fight the Lionel on Polymus Mountain. But casually and in the speedrun, you can simply skip that by getting shock arrows, specifically 20, from any other resource. You don't actually have to go up and get them where the Lionel is. That's what most people end up doing in their casual playthrough. But, oh wow, I need literally one. I need one shock arrow, otherwise they're not gonna let me board the Divine Beast. Okay, well, it looks like we're gonna make one other quick stop before we actually get to board Divine Beast Varuta. But might as well. We need these shock arrows anyway. And then, hopefully, I think my goal for this week is to still get through the other last Divine Beast, Rudania. Tomorrow is going to be Ruta, and then I'm going to make it to Rudania, do Rudania in one of those episodes, and then hopefully at the end of the week beat the game so we can start actually looking at the percentage of our completion percentage. All right, back in, here we go. Hopefully I didn't, oh, did I? Maybe I did already buy shock arrows, but I wasted too many of them. Actually no, it doesn't look like it. Or they're just already restocked. Okay, we'll take that. We are at 39 shock arrows now, which is more than enough to approach the Divine Beast. We're gonna teleport back, wind bomb over there, and that's what I'm gonna call off today's episode. A nice little Breath of the Wild Let's Play today. Let's see. I'll see if tomorrow is going to be somewhat like that again. It's also going to allow me to explain speedrunning tricks and just like explain what I'm doing. But if I have something else to talk about, something else to rant about, then that's what the video is going to be about. Today happened to be a little bit of a Let's Play. And I'm sure in the next 176 days, there's going to be another day where I have nothing else to say other than just talking to you guys about the game I'm playing. To be fair, in my defense, I know I keep flexing with this, but I'm close to having done this for like 40 days in a row now. I started this when we were well, no, I'm at like 32 days right now. I started this when it was, no, actually 211 days. It was 211 days until release when I did my first episode of this, but at the start what I did is I didn't actually just play the game. This format changed over time. This is the format I'm the most happy with. All I wanted to do is play Breath of the Wild every day until Tears of the Kingdom comes out, and I also wanted to make sure that while I do so, I have something to talk about. Also, why is this wind bomb so off? Okay, I mean, as long as I clear this wall, we're fine. I wanted to talk about something while I play. So I started by doing just speedruns and talking about random topics. Then I started by just doing random stuff in game. And now I'm at this new playthrough where I complete the game bit by bit. And I think that's my favorite. I'm gonna continue tomorrow with the Divine Beast Varuta and then make my way to Elden to the next beast. Tomorrow, we only have 176 days left. The countdown is ticking, guys. Tears of the Kingdom is coming. I'll see you tomorrow.